Emily and the Storyteller. It was an important day on the island of Sodor. A new library was going to be open. Everyone was excited. There was going to be a ceremony with a brass band, a red carpet, and boxes of books. All the children and all the grown-ups loved reading books and listening to stories. A famous storyteller was going to tell the children a special story. All the engines wanted to collect a famous storyteller, but Sir Topham Hatt chose Emily. Emily was excited. "You must show the famous storyteller the special sights of Sodor," he boomed. Then she could make up a special story for the children. "Make sure she arrives at the grand opening on time." "Yes, sir," whistled Emily. "I'll show her as many sights as I can." Emily puffed over to Nafford Harbor. She wanted to do a good job. Emily arrived at the harbor. She looked up and down, left and right, and all around looking for someone famous. But all she could see was a lady with a notepad and a big box of cookies. "Are you the famous storyteller?" Emily asked. "I like to think so," said the lady. "You must be Emily, the Emerald Engine. Will you please show me the sights of Sodor?" "Of course," tooted Emily happily. So the famous storyteller hopped on Emily's footplate, and Emily puffed away. "Pirate's Cove is not far from here. I shall take you there first," whistled Emily. Pirate's Cove was full of caves and secret tunnels. Legend had it that pirates used to bury their treasure there. "You could make up a jolly good story about pirate treasure," whooshed Emily happily. But on her way there, Emily saw James. James was in trouble. "My coupling rod has snapped, and I'm a guaranteed connection. My passengers have to arrive at Mayfleet Station on time." "I'm sorry," Emily puffed to this famous storyteller. "I cannot take you to Pirate's Cove. I have to help my friend." So Emily buffered up to James and his passenger train and chuffed away. "Thank you, Emily," cried James. Emily arrived at Mayfleet just in time. "The ruined castle is just over the hills," said Emily to the famous storyteller. "Now I will take you there." Emily puffed as fast as she could. The ruined castle had tall turrets and a great big door. The old kings and queens of Sodor used to live there. "You could make up a jolly good story about kings and queens," puffed Emily happily. But on her way there, Emily saw Thomas in a siding. He was looking sad. He was taking flour to the bakery, but his whistle had broken. It wasn't safe to work without it. "I'm sorry," puffed Emily to the famous storyteller. "I cannot take you to the ruined castle. I have to help my friend." So Emily buffered up to Thomas and took him to the bakery. "Thank you, Emily," cried Thomas. Emily arrived at the bakery just in time. Thomas was pleased, and Emily puffed away. "Misty Valley is not far from here," chuffed Emily. "Now I will take you there." She had heard Misty Valley was full of magic. "You could make up a jolly good story about magic." But on her way, Emily saw Percy. Percy was in trouble. A river had flooded its banks. Percy was up to his buffers in water, and his firebox had gone out. I am sorry, whistled Emily to the famous storyteller. I cannot take you to Misty Valley. I have to help my friend. Slowly, Emily jumped into the water. The water came right up to her footplate. The famous storyteller had to stand on a box of cookies to keep her feet dry. Emily bravely bubbled up to Percy, and she pushed her friend out. "Thank you, Emily!" cried Percy. By now, it was time to go to the grand opening, and Emily was late. "Oh my goodness!" wheezed Emily. "I haven't had time to show any sights at all." Emily arrived at the new library station. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. "We didn't visit any sights," puffed Emily sadly. "I had to take James's passengers to Mayfleet Station, Thomas's flower to the bakery, and push Percy out of the water." "But this is a wonderful idea for a story," cried the famous storyteller. "I shall write all about your day, Emily, and how you helped your friends." She was very excited, and Emily was delighted. The famous storyteller cut the red ribbon in front of the new library. She declared it open. Then the children and the engines all listened as the famous storyteller told them the story of her wonderful adventures with Emily and other engines on the magical island of Sodor.